Greetings my lovelies, and thank you for stopping by the circle today. It is time again to do a wrap up for the previous month. So here we go with April. Now this month I actually did read a lot of effing books, largely in part due to the Owls Readathon, and I'm not gonna lie, I kinda had to pull out some of my backups just so that I could pass it because, whoo, I almost didn't make it. So, this month I read a grand total of 7 books. Whoop, whoop. Yeah. I read 1 nonfiction, 2 webtoons, 3 fantasies, and 1 historical fiction. Of those 7 books, there were 2 that I didn't finish. So let's just go ahead and get right on into it with the ones that I didn't finish. So the first one that I didn't finish is a webtoon called I Love You. I had been reading this one for a while and the action in it just kind of went and I kind of got bored with it. So, I mean, like when I say, like, I love the art in it, it's amazing. And the story was really interesting for a while, but things for recently have just flatlined. And I'm like, I don't even care anymore. And I just kind of scroll through it, skimming to see if there's anything in it that might catch my eye. And nope. So I was like, well, I'm done reading this one. The next book that I didn't finish was Cursed. And I'm really bummed about this one. I just could not get into it. I made it like 150-ish pages and I just couldn't. I could not. I'm like, I don't really care about the characters. Yeah, there's like genocidal things going on and there's Excalibur coming back and it just was taking forever to get anywhere. And I'm wondering if this also wasn't largely in part because I was starting to kind of have a depressive spiral with this quarantine bit. So it really may not be the book's fault. It really could probably just be mine. And because I love Arthurian legend, is like this book is normally in my wheelhouse, I'm probably going to give this one a second go later. But I had to stop it because it was one of my owl reads and it was taking far too long to finish. So I was just like, I gotta stop if I'm going to do anything at all, and I had to pull out a backup magic book. So now let's go into the books that I did finish. So the first one that I want to talk about is another webtoon called Asura's Bride. I stumbled across this because I was reading Midnight in Poppyland, and this was another one that the author had done, and I was like, I need more content because her artwork is so amazing. And if you have not read it, I will link all this stuff down below. It's really good. It's very short, which is also what I like sometimes with webtoons. Like the ones that go on for a really long time, like you need to make sure that you're going to keep my attention with it, otherwise I'm just going to lose interest. Yeah. But the art and the story moved really well. It's like a historical fantasy piece. I really would have loved to have seen it gone further because I think it's amazing. But meh, what are you gonna do? I enjoyed it for what it was. The next book that I finished was a part of my Owls Readathon, and that is 6 of Crows. This one is also a reread of mine, and I did enjoy it better the second time than I did the first time. Because the first time I read it, it was really kind of hard to get into for a little bit, but then once the wheels got turning, it was like woohoo! But this time I was like woohoo from the start, so yay! I'm gonna read the next one, Crooked Kingdom, probably later on again because I can't read one book in a series and not read the whole of them. That's why sometimes when I get started with rereading Harry Potter's, I have to read them in their entirety. Same thing with like the Percy Jackson series, Heroes of Olympus, Hunger Games, Tea Rose. Yeah, I have to read the entire series. I don't know why, I'm weird. The next one is Garden Spells. This one is also a reread, but I highly recommend it for those of you who enjoy practical magic, book or the movie. Weird, folky things, strong familiar connections, people recovering from past traumas and finding out who they are. Plus, it's set in the mountains of North Carolina, and while I do not live in the mountains of North Carolina, I am a North Carolinian, and fuck yeah, let's roll. My nonfiction which also was my supplemental for not reading Cursed, is The Holy Wild. Now this book is interesting because it deals with reclaiming of some older stories, mythologies of women who have been branded as the bad guys for certain aspects. So this book deals a lot with reclaiming things like our own sexuality, our ability to love and be autonomous with ourselves, and being the raging bitches that we can be, and not being shy about it. I kind of recommend it. It's very interesting, but if you're not of like metaphysical, pagany, witchy type of things, it may not be up your alley. But if you are, definitely go check that one out. The last book is Meet Samantha. Now this book was my saving grace for meeting the owls because it is a white cover and it begins with the letter M. Now I had not intended originally on reading this for my owls, but it was the only way that I could do it and pass. I bought these books for my students to read in the classroom because I love the American Girl series, because not only does it have, interesting female characters, it also has a lot of historical context. So I bought the whole series and I just read this one, and it's good. It's Victorian. It deals with a lot with social equality and poverty issues, and I thoroughly enjoyed it for what it was. My all-time favorite though will definitely be Kirsten, because that is the one that I had, and then the Addie series is also fairly good as well. So if you have young girls, these are a great series to deal with. So there you have it. Those are just my reading wrap-ups for the month of April. If you participated in the Owls Readathon, let me know if you completed it or did not. I am so happy I passed and I got my lovely little certification. And in case you do not remember, I got my owls in Magizoology with the seminar certificate of legal defense for magical creatures. Because next year, if it's offered, I'm gonna be a fucking dragon tamer because I love dragons. And yes, I am a grown adult and I still have stuffed animals. So that is all that I have for you today. But before you skedaddle on and go out into the world, please do not forget that my latest book, The Serpent's Coils, is available. Now, you can't get it at bookstores because bookstores are unfortunately still kind of closed down at the moment, but you can get it everywhere else. So that is Amazon, the Book Depository, and literally the thousands of other places you can buy your books online. Check it out. It's fucking amazing, and I'm already working on the second one. Also, I have revamped some things on my Patreon page. Click the link below, check it out. One of the major things that I have changed is I decided to make you a character thing, but there are some twists to it. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, still click the link down below and go check it out. So that is officially everything that I have to talk to you about, guys, today. So I will see you all next week. Bye.